throwing themselves at this guy.
Well, he's an icon.
They want us like sit next to him, be next to him. So another thing that a lot of these magazines do is they kind of like when you find out you're going to be in the magazine, they have a woman call you. Because I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be weird if like a guy called and he's telling you that you have a photo shoot? Like that could get weird, right? They do that on purpose to have the woman reach out. So then, you're communicating with the woman, it builds trust. Like when I was invited into the bedroom, it was Bridget inviting me, not Hefner. Hefner knew what room I was in, and Hefner, I believe, had her call me. And I was listening to one of the podcasts where Holly specifically asked Bridget, did you ever try and get a girl into the bedroom? Did you ever play that role? And she straight lied and said, no, I did not. So at that point, I quit listening to the podcast because Bridget is a liar and I'm done with liars.
She probably just doesn't want to have to face the backlash of admitting to something like that, especially on a podcast.
Well, don't lie.
Oh, they're going to lie. They don't want to incriminate themselves. They don't want to have any kind of accountability in their role. But a lot of the people that were involved are now trying to avoid that accountability. Even some of them said, oh, well, I didn't want to go against the machine because there was going to be consequences. That was some of the things that some of the girls said.
That's not right. But she literally put her on the spot and she literally lied.
Oh, 100%.
Does Holly not know? Because as I was looking into it, Holly was there before Bridget. So could Holly be in the dark about how Bridget is? I don't know. And why would she ask her that question if she knew the answer?
Probably.
You think she knew? I think the longer you stay, the more you know. They say the mean girls are the ones that left. Actually, you got to be mean to stay.
Because it was really cutthroat and competitive, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And only the more ambitious of the girls would stick around. I think even Holly said that she knew what she was doing and she knew that there was going to be some repercussions to dating Hef, but she knew that the inevitable outcome was going to be that she was going to have more media attention and that she was going to have more access to the spotlight. And she did. And she was married to him for a while until she left. She knew exactly what she was doing. She got her way into the crew. She put herself up at the top and she knew exactly what she was doing with this almost 90-year-old man. She was a hot young thing, but she still understood what she was doing and her role and what the inevitable outcome was going to be. I think a lot of these girls knew that's how it worked. So they were all on board with trying to play that game to kind of get to where she was. And there was multiple girls that were in her place before her. In every generation, there'd be a new girl that would come and take that other girl's place when the other wife aged out or whatever. And the new younger ones would come in and replace them. She even said how competitive it was, even standing and taking pictures, like who's standing where, who's standing closer to Hef, and who's more in frame, who's taller. All of that stuff went into account into perceiving who was the more valuable member of the cast, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought I heard that actually Bridget got Kendra into the bedroom. I don't know. I can't remember if that was the case. I bet there's a lot of people that have had Bridget doing that to them. And I thought I heard Kendra say that Bridget did it to her. They say, we're going to be smoking weed. If you want to come hang out, you can play with the girls. But if you take off your thong, that's inviting Hefner to have sex with you. Okay, and then when you see his bedroom, you notice how, like, in that MTV Cribs, all the thongs on the lamp, the chandelier.
It's like his trophy room.
The chandelier. So they go there and they take off the thongs. Someone told them, this is the thing. You take off the thong, that's a sign. But did Hugh Hefner sit them down and tell them to do this? The women are doing it. So wouldn't they be a part of it?
That's the question, isn't it?
That's almost like, like Nazi boot camp, like, all that. Everybody involved got in trouble, right?
Absolutely.
So why aren't they getting in trouble?
Yeah.
And Bridget was older.
Yeah. So like I said, I think it's just everybody that is involved or was involved just trying to avoid accountability. lie their way out of involvement. It's like, oh, I didn't know what was going on, but
Yeah, she was older.
was she? I gotta give it up to you, Flavor Girls, though, because some of these women, even in their 60s, like that Jackie lady, she's still banging.
Which Jackie lady? Which one was she?
The black girl?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She said, I'm always going to be a Playboy.
Yeah.
Another thing I thought was weird, aren't they like in New Jersey? How does Hefner keep track of what's happening in Playboy clubs in New Jersey?
Well, there's Playboy clubs all over the country.
But how does he like keep up on the drama, the scandal, the women who did what?
There's no way that he knew every single thing that was going on. There's just too many people and too many different clubs for the amount of time that he was spending in the media. There's no way that he could be living this life that he curated for himself, being in the media, doing interviews and being at these parties, and also knowing what was going on. Like, there's another layer that's underneath that I think was actually the one that was controlling the empire, that was basically trying to protect Hugh's image, but at the same time, that underlying layer was the one that was suppressing all this information and keeping these horrific events from hitting the media, that was silencing these girls. I think that's something that's not really being emphasized enough, because they just call it, oh, that's just the cleanup crew. But it couldn't have been just one or two people, because it's a massive organization. There's a lot of people. So there had to have been way more than just a couple of people involved.
Yeah. And how do you manage it? It's just like unrealistic, honestly. That's a lot.
The thing that was really heartbreaking for me is when they talked about how Don Cornelius had taken these girls from the Playboy Club, drugged them, chained them up in his house, and then them for days, like beat them up. Then they even said that he sodomized them with wooden things from around the house or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then one of the girls got free, and instead of calling the cops, she called Playboy Security. Then Playboy Security went over there, got the girls, didn't take them to the hospital, and made sure that they didn't say anything about what had happened to them to the media. Would they say it was like a week and a half later, Don Cornelius was back in the club and nothing had even happened to him?
That's crazy.
So there was something definitely that was there protecting the celebrities. What's crazy is watching this old footage and you see Bill Cosby there. And we know what he was actually doing the whole time. He was supposed to be America's dad this whole fucking time. Regis Philbin was America's morning talk show guy. He was supposed to be so clean cut and corporate, and who knows what the he was doing. And of course, Don Cornelius was the host of that show. I used to watch that show when I was little with my dad, and that show was part of the reason why I ended up becoming a dancer, because I saw that dancing when I was a kid, and I would start mimicking it, and I'd start doing the dance moves, and my family would be like, oh, look at Joey, he can dance. And they would be like, oh, Joey's a little dancer. We'd have like little family get-togethers, and we have little family talent shows and stuff, and they'd throw on Michael Jackson, like, oh, show us your moves, Joey. I would start doing the Michael Jackson moves and shit. It was just that feeling of being special and significant, getting that positive attention that I didn't get from anyone else in my family other than when I was performing. And that all stemmed from watching that show when I was a kid, hearing his voice. He was the host. He was super cool. And this guy's rad. He's hosting the coolest show in the world.
Exactly.
At the time, the internet wasn't really around. Social media wasn't really around. I would totally follow that dude and be obsessed with every little thing that he put out there. If he was tweeting or just making random Facebook posts or whatever, I would have been glued. Is a cool motherfucker. But now that all of this shit came out, it's just like, holy shit, he was a fucking monster.
Yeah. Sorry.
Bless you.
I was going to block the camera on that. You know, that's a fetish. We might make money off that one.
If you want me to leave it in, I will.
No, you can take it out. Whenever I put on makeup, I get sneezy.
Really? Whenever I walk out into the sunlight for the first time, I always sneeze.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I was joking one time